Welcome back, gang. How you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you for asking. This is installment number 3 of my impressions of my Aquila. I'm just loving it more and more with each passing trip and each passing day and minute I stay on here. Some improvements have happened. Well, I'll show you some of those. Some things are still lacking. We'll get there. Here we go. Okay, starting out in the cockpit, we still have not received our tea tables, as you can see. You know, it's just the world we live in right now. Hey, we'll give it to you on Monday, and you get 3 Mondays later and you don't know. You know, it's just the way it is. So, oh well, we're still waiting on it. They're being nice. They're saying they're trying. They're working hard. But in these last 2 trips we made this past couple of weeks, you really need the extra chairs around the table, which we're getting, because what happens is everybody sits over here on the bench, and then maybe a person sits on the stool over here, and it's just not really kind of conducive to sitting around like adults and talking. For the first time, we used the crew quarters, the bunk beds down there. My son came and he stayed down there, and he was happy to report that it was nice and quiet and cool. But I did notice one thing that he didn't notice. We need a darker tent on the roof here, because at night when the light's on down there, you can see right through it. So I walked by and saw my son, in his skivvies. Not that I haven't seen my son in his skivvies before, but if that would have been my daughter, but you can see when the light's on, you can see right through it. So we've got to put on a darker blackout tent, really, on this hatch. Hello, boaters. You can see you can see my hand through it. So yeah, you can see all the way down there. Not very private. I had the bilge pump go off in the starboard engine room, and I went down and it had a little bit of water in there, but what we found out is that from the factory, one little thing wasn't screwed in right in this area. So when it was raining a lot, it just kind of poured into the engine room a little bit, just a little bit. So, but Marine Max came and showed up like 2 days later, repaired it, caulked it, done. Airtight, watertight, I'd rather say, at this point. So all good downstairs. And by the way, I really did an experiment on this past trip. I had been taking the engines up to about 3,200 to get on plane and staying there. So if I had the current behind me, I was going 18 knots. If it was ahead of me, I was going about 14, 15. But man, it just consumed so much fuel, 32 gallons an hour, I think. This time I went a lot slower. I kept it at around 2,200. Which is around 10 knots, and I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more. It was just more like a lazy river type cruise. When you went against the current, of course, that would go down to like 8 knots, so I had to bump it up a little bit. Felt a little bit like the back end is dragging and the front end is up because you're not on plane. But when I was able to take it back down to 2,200 with the current behind us, it leveled and it was fine. And I only used about 15 or 16 gallons an hour. So either or, get there quick and spend, or take your time and enjoy and save a little bit. One thing we got, I don't know if you guys do Facebook portal, but my mother's 87 years old, and so she has one in her room where she lives, and we have one at home. That way we can see each other and talk to each other all day long if we want. We got one here. We got a little one right there, so I'm able to Facebook my mom from here, which is really cool. These are really great, and you have to have Facebook, and you just hook into your Facebook account, and then it's a video call basically. That's really cool. Everything in here is just fantastic, hunky-dory, as you can see, all wonderful. No complaints. It was great having a lot of people on board this time. This thing works without having a table here, because at night we would all sit around and watch TV or a baseball game or football or what have you, and plenty of room. The dreaded stairs have been replaced. I am happy to say they are bigger. Not that much bigger, but they are bigger. Here they are. And they've added this handrail, which is nice, and this one, which is nice. So you've got like 5 or 6 handrails there as you go all the way up. So I haven't had a pedicure in a while, sorry. But you can see much bigger. This one right here was not replaced. That's still the skinny one. That's barely bigger than my foot. But the rest of the way, much, much better. Which brings us to the flybridge. I finally got the window tinted. I used a 3M product I can't remember the name of it. I'll do a lower third down here. The guy came out, put it on the inside. As you can see, it tinted the window slightly, just barely. There's a side-by-side comparison. Obviously all of this is tinted, and that has a slight tint to it now that it didn't have before. But man, has it cut down the heat. Wow. What a great investment, and it was a couple of $1,000, I'll tell you. It was really easy. He did it in half a day, and immediately the temperature went down in here. And the best way you can tell is by putting your hand on this thing, this little pad up here. Normally, that's so hot, you can't even put your hand on it. It's barely warm right now. And I'd say it's about 84, 85 degrees out. So worth the investment. It really cut down on the heat in here a lot. No, still no up-down table here. Okay, this was the first trip that I had a lot of people, 6 people on board. And several times it rained, so everybody, while we were underway, so everybody kind of ran in here. And you probably saw some of my Facebook posts, my Instagram posts where I showed all of us in here. It's just, there's 6 people in here and there's still tons of room. It's air conditioned, it's nice, it was wonderful. So I'm so happy with this fly bridge. And I'm so happy I bought this Aquila. This fly bridge was a big reason that I got it. And again, the other thing is I can always walk right down to the front because there's access around the Portuguese bridge. So I know a lot of times in these first and second, third impression videos, I'm kind of complaining about things, and I want to make sure I balance it by saying I just continue to be amazed and thrilled with the purchase of this Aquila. When it is underway, it's a beast. It'll do what I want. It's parking it is easy, even in these currents. You know, here they say if you can park a boat here on the ICW with all these currents and tides in this area, you can park it anywhere. And I truly believe that now. I have become a master at learning which way the current is coming and how to not stick my ass end out to get it flipped around. So, but this boat handles so well that it's been easy. I'll also say I finally figured out the dock mate. You know, I in the first video I was talking about you couldn't crab because we didn't have a stern thruster. Well, it's pretty easy to maneuver now, and I use it a lot. It's hard to use when the current is really ripping because it's just idle speed, right? So sometimes you need a little more power than that. But generally, if I want to crab to the right, you know, basically I just turn the boat, you know, the little dial, just turn it as turn the other way. If I'm going that way, I'm going to turn this way to get my ass in towards the stern, towards the dock. And at the same time, I just push over right and the bow thruster goes to the right. So that's kind of how, I don't think I described that well. Here, let me get it. Okay, here it is. Hang on. Here it is. What I was saying was, you know, if I need the boat to do like this to go in, or if I'm coming in and I just want to like move it like this, basically what I'm doing is I'll turn this to the left like that, which is the equivalent to starboard forward, port backwards, right? And I'm doing that in order to get the stern, air conditioner just turned on. I'm doing that in order to get the stern to come in, right? At the same time, while I'm turning, if I push it to the right, like that, then the bow thruster kicks in. So basically it kind of starts doing like this. Just like that. And it's been working really well. It always works, it never doesn't work, and I'm glad I got it. Really easy, because there's so many blind spots on this boat, especially on the port side. I always ask for a starboard tie-up because it's so blind over here. But with the dock mate, if the current's not too strong, I can just walk around the boat and do it. So, all good. So because I'm, you know, in the entertainment business, the music has to be right. So I ended up getting these 4 horns. 2 there, 2 there. And that was a blast. You can pump the music really loud out here, and it's really great. So I'm very happy that we did that. Another little thing I added, it's very difficult if I'm inside here and everybody's laying out while we're underway and I need to say, hey, we're going to do a port tie-up or starboard tie-up, get the fenders out. I have to run around here and yell it, and they're yelling at each other, and I hate that. So I had my audio video guy install this little thing, and it's just a little speaker. It's a 2-way speaker that is attached to my Raymarine radio. And I just get into the hail area of the radio and I just say, hey guys, let's tie up on starboard, what do you think? And then they can talk back to me. right? And then I can hear them. So it's really invaluable, and I highly recommend any boat having this. I know we've talked about the marriage saver with the headsets and everything, but this is just easy because if somebody's out there, then I can talk to them. I'm also getting another one put in the back here in the cockpit, just in case people are back there and I need to talk to them. Yes, I'm building a website. There's going to be merchandise. If you want some, you can be able to get a cup like this. Has the slogan on the back, "This does not suck." This is a nice rain jacket. Lovely bag. Some trucker hats. Just shameless promotion. It's what I do. That's it. It's a quick one. Headed back home tomorrow, and then the next day I'm going to Ireland. You'll probably see a video from Ireland. I'm doing a little gig in Ireland, so that'll be fun. And then we're back here in October with my 87-year-old mom. That'll be fun, hopefully. I only say that because she's just, the physical aspect of it is going to be a little tough for her. But my brother and his wife are coming too, so the whole family will be here, so we'll get her on board. She'll be fine. Hey, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye.